Hello, this is Doc Hatfield, Preachman Piper. Today I'm coming to you with the VR. Now, as you people know, I don't do well with these kind of things, but I wanted to do this one. I been thinking a lot about this, and Paladin Piper, who has 600 goals, or 600 goals. That's what happens when you're an old man. Who has 600 subs. And I just think that's marvelous that you've reached that point. And I know that you're going to reach a lot further as you go along, because you do great work and you do great videos. And in his Winter English giveaway, he asked you to do a VR about your greatest fear. And I was thinking, well, I don't have any fears, but I do. I have the fear of heights. And the way that I got that fear was when I was just a young one, I was an apprentice, a carpenter apprentice. And one day I was up on an apartment complex 3 stories high, and I was doing the decking along with some other people, and it come time for lunch, and so I went running across the roof, and I come to a certain point, and all of a sudden that decking that someone put down, they forgot to nail it. They just laid it up there, and then they took off for lunch as well. But I didn't know that. And when I hit that thing, it slipped, and when it slipped, I fell through. I went all the way down to the bottom, hitting all kind of framing, everything. And I mean, it just busted me all up, just like you wouldn't believe. And I hit that floor and was out like a light. It took a while for them to come and get me to the emergency room, and finally they got me awake, and so that started developing my fear of heights. Well, way years later, I was working on a ship on one of the Great Lakes out of Toledo, Ohio. And when we came in to port one day, they come to me and they said, we're going to put you on the crow's nest, and we're going to send you over onto the land so that you can help tie up when we finally get in there the way that we should. And so halfway across that, going across that, swinging me across that rope broke, and I went down. And I hit that water like a bullet. And I went so far down in the water, I saw the bottom of that ship, and I really thought I was dead. I didn't think I was going to be alive. Well, I come back up. Well, when I come back up, I realized I was between the ship and between the dock. And so they were scrambling to try to see if they could get to me. And all of a sudden, I heard about 6 or 7 plops in the water, and it was these looked like a Rubik's cube, except they were big, like 2 foot by 2 foot, 3 foot by 3 foot, and they had plopped them down in the water, and that was to keep the boat from hitting, if somebody fell in, from smashing them up against the dock and just make a pancake out of them. Well, when I saw that boat coming, I turned my head toward the dock. I said, well, if it's going to kill me, I don't want to see it. And so that thing hit that boat hit them blocks and screeched like bloody murder. And then it come back out a little bit, a few feet, and then it come back again. Did that about 4 times before it finally stopped. Well, they dropped a ladder down. They told me, said, don't climb it, just get on it. So I got on that ladder, and they pulled me up out of that drink. And when they pulled me up out of that drink, the captain of the ship was there, and he was just all over me. I mean, he was hugging me. He was just feeling all over me. He said, you're alive, you're alive, you're alive, you're alive. And I said, yeah. And he said, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. I said, well, what do you mean it's a miracle? He said, well, as far as I know, this is the first time them blocks haven't just blowed apart and just went ahead and mashed the person. Said, about 50 people have fell in there over all these years, and that was the end of them. Them blocks didn't do a thing. And he said, them blocks held, and said, we just knew you was dead. But said it held and kept you from being smashed to death. He said, I want you to go in and take a shower and just lay back. You ain't got to do a thing. Well, I did. I went in and I took a shower, but I packed my stuff. And I come back up there and started to walk across the plank to get off onto the deck, and the captain come to me and he said, where are you going? I said, I'm quitting. He said, oh, don't do that, don't do that. He said, really, please don't do that. He said, we've had such a good time together, you know. And I said, well, I know we have, but I said, I think that was God's wake-up call for me to get off this ship and go back to what I was supposed to be doing, and that's preaching. I said, so I'm gone. I'm out of here. So those two things caused me to have a great fear of heights. I mean, I have trouble now even just climbing up a ladder to get on a house. Of course, I can't now. I'm in this power chair. But I mean, before I ended up in this thing, I couldn't hardly climb up a ladder. So my greatest fear for Paladin is heights. And I guess I'll never get over it. Of course, I don't have to worry about it now. This chair, it lifts me up about a foot, but that's about it. So anyway, that's my greatest fear. And that's what I believe he wanted in his English winter giveaway. And I just want to tell you, Paladin, I think that you do a great job on your videos. You're very personable. You're very interesting to listen to. And you're very enjoyable to watch. So, until we see you again, bye-bye.